It feels like a lot is happening with the team right now, and every day there's something new to talk about. From big decisions off the field to changes that could impact the roster, this is one of those moments where things might be shifting in a big way. As a fan, you can kind of sense that something important is building, and the next moves could really shape what this team looks like moving forward. So let's analyze everything in detail, but first click the like button to stay informed and comment. Go Hawks! The latest wave of news surrounding the Seattle Seahawks is starting to feel like something much bigger is brewing behind the scenes. And right now, everything points to a franchise that could be on the verge of a historic transformation. Not just on the field, but at the very top. What's coming out about the potential sale of the team is not just speculation anymore. It's turning into a scenario that could reshape the future of the Seahawks for decades. We're talking about numbers and names that instantly grab your attention. According to the latest reports, there is a very real possibility that the Seattle Seahawks could be sold for around $10 billion, a number that would set a new benchmark in North American sports. And when you start connecting that kind of valuation with the names being mentioned, you realize just how serious this situation is becoming. Two names immediately stand out because of their deep ties to Seattle and their massive financial power: Jeff Bezos and Steve Ballmer. But here's where things get interesting. While Bezos is the name that many fans naturally gravitate toward, there are growing doubts about whether he would actually be able to step in and buy the team. The reason is not about money, it's about structure and conflict. With Amazon heavily involved in NFL broadcasting through Prime Video, owning a franchise could create complications that the league may not be comfortable with. So suddenly, the idea of Bezos as the savior owner starts to lose a bit of traction, and attention begins to shift toward Steve Ballmer. And if you're a Seahawks fan thinking long-term, this is where things could get very exciting. Ballmer's track record with the Los Angeles Clippers shows exactly what kind of owner he is. He invests, he builds, and most importantly, he elevates a franchise's relevance. He took a team that was once an afterthought and turned it into something people actually take seriously. Now imagine that level of commitment being applied to a Seahawks team that is already in a strong position. This isn't a rebuild project. This is a team that is already competitive, already structured well, and already operating with a solid front office and coaching staff. The idea of adding an aggressive, forward-thinking owner into that mix could push Seattle into an entirely different tier across the league. But there's another layer to this that fans need to understand. If it's not a single billionaire stepping in, the most likely outcome could be an ownership group. And not just any group, but one structured like recent major purchases we've seen across sports. The NFL requires a controlling owner with at least 30% stake, meaning there will always be a clear face of ownership, even if multiple investors are involved. And here's where the timing becomes even more fascinating. Seattle is expected to be part of the NBA's expansion plans, potentially bringing the Supersonics back. That creates a situation where investors may have to choose: go all in on the Seahawks at a record-breaking price, or enter the NBA at a slightly lower but still massive valuation. This competition for ownership interest could actually drive the Seahawks' price even higher. Now shift this to the football side, because while all of this is happening off the field, the team itself continues to build toward the future in very strategic ways. One of the most intriguing developments involves Avon Terrell. The Clemson cornerback suffered a hamstring injury during his private pro day. And while injuries are never something you want to see, this could unexpectedly benefit Seattle. Terrell is widely viewed as one of the most versatile defensive backs in this class, capable of playing both inside and outside. That kind of flexibility is exactly what the Seahawks value in their defensive system. And with the current state of the cornerback room, adding another young, dynamic piece could be a priority. The injury introduces uncertainty, And in the draft, uncertainty often leads to players sliding further than expected. If Terrell starts to fall, suddenly the Seahawks could find themselves in position to land a player who many believed would be out of reach. And if that happens, it's the kind of move that quietly strengthens a defense that is already trending in the right direction. At the same time, there's another name gaining momentum among fans, especially those who follow Washington football closely: Jonah Coleman. His connection to the Seahawks is already more than just speculation. He's visited the facility, met with John Schneider, and, by his own words, felt completely aligned with the offensive philosophy. That matters more than people think. When a player says the terminology and system feel familiar, that's a sign of a potentially smooth transition to the NFL level. Coleman brings a physical running style, the ability to contribute in the passing game, and the kind of toughness that fits perfectly with Seattle's identity. And when you look at the current situation in the Seahawks' backfield, there's clearly room for competition. With uncertainty around roles and players needing to step up, bringing in someone like Coleman could create exactly the kind of internal battle that this organization has thrived on in the past. It's a strategy we've seen before: stack the position, let them compete, and let the best player emerge. Then there's Riley Mills, a name that might not be getting as much national attention yet, but inside the building, there's real excitement about what he could become. Coming off a knee injury, his rookie season was more about recovery than development. But now, for the first time, he gets a full off-season to actually refine his game. And if you watched closely, even in limited snaps, there were flashes. The kind of flashes that suggest there's more there. His performance in key moments, including a standout play in the Super Bowl, showed that he can deliver on big stages. So when you put all of this together, ownership uncertainty, massive financial stakes, potential draft steals, emerging young talent, it paints a picture of a franchise that isn't standing still. The Seahawks are evolving, both structurally and competitively, and the decisions made in the coming months could define the next era of this team. And that's where this becomes a conversation, not just a report. Because if you're a Seahawks fan watching all of this unfold, you have to ask yourself one thing. If a new owner does come in, especially someone like Ballmer or a powerful ownership group, how much could that truly change the ceiling of this team moving forward? What do you think this means for the future of the Seahawks?